Lego man named Blocky McBlockface. And in this video, I built Blocky's whole origin story, from a young innocent Lego man trying to make new friends to war criminal, with plenty of chaos, drownings, and destruction along the way. With all that said, Lego. For day one, I started with this small 14-piece bathtub stunt bike set. It comes with this little guy I'm gonna name Blocky McBlockface. He has a tattoo on his back and a life preserver in his front. And when you pull back on it, it runs off the table and into tomorrow's build. Because for day two, I got this Dino Market set from Jurassic Park. And this guy, who looks like he's friends with my chemistry teacher. Anyway, he's holding this little bug, and I also assembled a little station for him to put this egg and a baby dino. And it's pretty adorable. At least until it started violently maiming our boy Blocky McBlockface. Anyway, speaking of violent reptiles, for day three, we have the Ninjago jumping snake battle set. It came with a minifigure named Jay and this little stand holding snakes. So that way when Jay steps down onto this piece, it violently launches snakes at our boy Blocky. Bro's definitely building up his villain arc right now. Because at day 4, we have the biggest master builder, Emmett. And this 49-piece set can turn into 3 different builds, and I'm going to do all of them. First is this car, which he can use to run over Blocky McBlockface, and second is this crane to pick him up and then drop him. And third is my personal favorite, which is this mech, and you can use it to yeet him into space. Specifically at day 5's build. Now this one has to be one of the goofiest sets of all time. It's a giant asteroid field. So I'm going to call this 60-piece set Alderaan. Comes with a small tie build and a pilot to protect it, but unfortunately Blocky is stuck inside the asteroid field, so we need someone to save him, and that someone is going to be our day 6 build, Benny and friends. So I built up some of his space fleet and his friends like Jenny, Lenny, and Kenny to help him, and I also built this small rover to ride and a spaceship from the 68 pieces because Benny loves. I also built his robot friend named Jeb from the web. So I sent them into space to get him, and after a small fight with the TIE fighter and the pilot, they got away, and Blocky was safe. Not before, of course, their ship crashed, and they landed on our build at day 7. This was an otter habitat build, which is a set from Lego City. After building it up, it was a very nice habitat with these adorable little creatures playing around, until, of course, our boy Blocky McBlockface dropped out of the sky. And it's caused him to disrupt the ecosystem, which wasn't great for the otters, so I built the rest of this 90-piece ATV build, and a member of the otter card to help kick him out. But it looks like someone from our day 8 build is going to get him, and that is the Assassin Droid Battle Pack. This 94-piece set comes with 3 silver regular Assassin Droids and 2 elite assassin droids. I don't know, it says it on the box. I built up their speeders and loaded these things called flick fire missiles in, and then they chased after Blocky. And it turns out that asteroid guard told his boss, who is the main villain, Florida Man, how Blocky escaped, and he sent out a bounty to find him. Now the assassin droids weren't that bright, but they are shiny, so this let Blocky find a safe place to hide with his best friend in day 9's build, the Springfield Adventure. And this one's 98 pieces with their guy, Homeboy Homer. We let our boy Blocky McBlockface chill out with him on the couch and help avoid the assassin droids after him. And to pass time, I built the TV for them so they could watch Itchy and Scratchy and drink Buzz Cola. Unlucky for Blocky, the droids found him, so he had to escape on top of Homer's pretty tiny pink car, which is a pretty fun build, by the way. But again, lucky for Blocky, our day 10 build of Jyn Erso is here to save him. He also broke the 100-piece barrier, so that's a tough one. She comes with a blaster, a baton, and a really creepy face. She shot at and took down the speeder bike, which took down all the shiny silver ones, and then took out her baton to take on the elite assassins by basically just beating them senselessly. And now they have to wait together for the next build, which is of course going to be the 105-piece Snowtrooper battle pack with these 3 bros, and the one guy who thinks he's in the friend group, but nobody else does. They came set up with defenses, speeders, and even a giant cannon to take on the Behemoth Jyn variant. She knew this would be her final stand, so she yeeted our boy Blocky McBlockface far away from them and took him on one last time. And it turns out she threw him to our day 12 build, which is this large 110-piece Lego set of a Lego brick. Some say it may have the key to eternal life or Jedi powers, but I don't know, that seems kinda sus. So I built it up and it's pretty cool, not gonna lie. But our boy Blocky ended up landing right next to it and may have been infused with the great powers that brick might have. Or maybe it's just a dumb brick, I don't know. So for day 13, I got this 501st Clone Trooper pack with 119 pieces and 4 baller clone bros. They were sent out by Florida Man to recover a giant Lego brick and more importantly, take out some young ones. They brought a cannon and an officer named Captain Botched, because he botches every mission he's a part of. Now that Blocky McBlockface has these powers, he wanted to learn how to use them, so he started to look for someone to help him, and that is our day 14 build, the Tinu Jedi Temple. But unfortunately for him, he's being followed. Now at the temple, Blocky met Jedi Master Yoda and 2 small children, and this 124-piece set came with everything. A training area, a speeder, and most importantly, a place to take a nap. And Yoda taught him all about the ways of the Force, and how to lift rocks and younglings. They became pretty good friends, but unfortunately those troopers that were following him started to shoot at the younglings. Now with his powers, our boy used his newly learned ability to summon a bathtub time machine and jet out, leaving all his new friends to die, which I don't think Yoda's gonna forgive. And it turns out he jet off to the Day 15 build, a 170-brick amusement park with a ring toss with little ducks, a strongman hangar that makes you feel insecure, and most importantly, the banana swing, fully fitted with a monkey on top. He wanted a good time, so he rode the rides, played ring toss, and totally got the W on the strongman game. Now, little Brickster thought he was cool and wanted to show him his own time travel machine, which it turns out is the build for the 16th. It's called the Cosmic Cardboard Cutout Adventure, and it was built by this little kid Brickster in his own bedroom, with the help of Sir Meowsalot, of course. Now, using his scientific skills, 203 pieces, and teddy bear energy, he created a time machine that runs on soda power and can go wherever you want it to while being made completely from cardboard. The only issue is little Brickster doesn't actually know how to travel, so our boy came in and stole the tracking tech and put it on his bathtub, then jet out. Now, little Brickster was less than happy with him and definitely wanted to get his tech back. Now, for day 17, I got the 200-piece Disney Parade train, and they all have their own floats, like Moana's Island, Woody from Toy Story's Roundup, and Peter Pan and Tinkerbell's Pirate Ship, and of course the leader of the band, Mickey and Minnie Mouse. And out of the sky, our boy Blocky McBlockface just dropped, and he was excited because he always wanted to go to Disney World and meet his favorite character, Goofy. Now, Goofy wasn't there for some reason, and since he was gone, our boy started to beat the living daylights out of everyone there, and nobody was safe. For this day, I got the Forest Hideout set with the Honorable Sir Studsworth, whose cousin's also a fox. So I ended up building this small outpost with some small black bricks, a shield with a deer on it, and a few trees. He was actually in the middle of an archery lesson when out of nowhere, a bathtub appeared with our boy, Blocky McBlockface. Him and Sir Studsworth became great friends, and Studsworth taught him archery, and when they were doing spear throwing, our boy Blocky accidentally ended his wife. Yeah, now seems like a good time for Blocky to jet off to a galaxy far, far away. And at day 19, I bought the 262-piece Republic clone tank that comes with 2 droids, 3 Grimace-colored clones, and Nick Fury. You can load up pretty much all the boys in, and they will take on all of these droids, and by all I mean 2, and they will take them down using the flick fires, lightsabers, and just sheer ramming power. Now, there was a small droid army ahead, and the Jedi and clones wanted to make a run for it, but just then, Blocky dropped in with his time travel machine. "Can you help us, sir?" "Yes, he can," and he used his tub to distract the droids while they went in for the kill. Blocky's finally doing a double. And while that was happening, on day 20, Ahsoka and a clone took over a droid tank set I built. It comes with 4 minifigures, and one of them's a clone trooper. And part of the feature of this set is you can spin the cannon around and shoot at the dumb clones. Roger. Now, when Blocky saw a tank coming, he thought they were prepping to attack him, but didn't know there were other good guys inside. So he kind of shot at the tank. "Why'd you do that?" "They were going to shoot us." "Okay, just don't do it again." At least Ahsoka survived, but they were all pretty on edge as they approached our day 21 build, which is Luke Skywalker's 474-piece X-Wing fighter. With Luke, Princess Leia, R2-D2, and this old guy. I built it up, and it was cool to build the features where the wings open up, and where you can shoot lasers out of them. Just then, our boy Blocky and his new good guy friends came rolling up with a brand new tank, and Luke thought they were bad guys, and he was gonna start shooting at them. Now, our boy used his brain powers and sensed this, and he actually shot back at Luke before Luke could shoot at them. But nobody believed him, and he got kicked out, and now our boy's gonna try to find his lost brother, Brickley McBrickface, who's this 654-piece Lego minifigure build, and then I popped together his legs, arms, and even his head. And he also lives inside his head, as most people do, but he actually lives in there. Now, Blocky traveled in because he knows he's being hunted down by this mysterious boss from Florida who's been going around and amassing an army of all the people who are mad at our boy. His brother told him he would help, but he would need some music stuff first because Blocky needs to summon some old friends. So they went to find some K-pop stars for day 23, with the 749-piece K-pop set that came with way too much stuff, like a full-on disco, a record store, a donut shop, a basketball court to show some hoops, and an ice cream truck. It's also loaded with K-pop stars, and I know none of their names, so you could tell me who they are in the comments. But then a bathtub that our boy Blocky McBlockface and his brother were riding into town stopped, and they had some questions. "We need to know where we can get donuts and the biggest instrument you have." After munching on some juicy donut holes and a quick concert, they were on their way to the big instrument at day 24, a large Fender guitar. And they did not pay the K-pop guys for this, by the way, so they're not happy either. But this is the large 1,000-piece Fender guitar set. It would also probably be cheaper to buy an an off-brand real guitar, but it's still pretty cool. First, I built a stand and put a guitar build on it to rock some epic tunes so that way everyone can hear it. I also built up the amp, which looks kind of like a grill you can make glizzies on, and now they're all connected. Now our boy Blocky McBlockface needed this guitar because his brother could use the giant mech suit and play it, and it was actually a really fun thing to set up. 1, 2, 3, 4. And when he played it, his space buddies came back in a completely new ship. They came in a Galaxy Explorer set, which is this $100 1,000+ piece set. I noticed it was loaded with details like a bed, a command station, a storage unit, and an escape rover in the back that you could pull out a platform and it rolls out by itself, and even escape pods on the side. Obviously, I had to bring back in Benny, Lenny, Jeb, and friends to ride along with our boy Blocky, because they heard he was in trouble and they're still friends. But they really need to start getting prepared because Florida Man is gathering a huge army. Now Blocky had to stop at one more place, and that was of course the Great Pyramids in Egypt. My people had a history of building these, so it didn't take long to do, and it's also like 1,476 pieces. And they even used some ladder pieces to design it, which is really cool, and I like how they did it. And my favorite feature of this set is where you can take off the top half and see what the pyramids were like under construction. Now our boy Blocky and his team went here because Blocky has magic powers, and the pyramid has a map to get him to the golden idol he needs. So now he just has to go up the mountain and get the map. Let's get it! And they copped it. Now for day 27, I built the Temple of the Golden Idol from Indiana Jones. It also has some of the most fun build techniques and most cursed face statues I've ever seen. It's also like 1,500 pieces, which isn't that bad. But our boy Blocky needed to put Indy on pause because he needed to do a quick run through to get the idol. He ran by some dead bodies and spikes, then swung across the cavern over to the idol, which was also surrounded by really creepy faces, including this Lego one. He's about to swap it, and he got it. Oh no, what's that shaking? What the block? And as Blocky made for his escape, the door was about to close, but he survived, and now he just needs to outrun the rock and escape those creepy faces. Ah! Mission success. Now at day 28, I need a sword, and what better way to get one than going to a medieval blacksmith to help us build one. The roof of this set had a really creative design, and inside was just as beautiful with cool details like this bearskin rug. Then if you go another level down, there's a full kitchen with a wood stove and a kitchen table to eat a lot of carrots. And at the bottom of it, there was this blacksmith's shop and a blacksmith named Werner, and he'd been given a job by our boy Blocky McBlockface to turn this golden idol into a very shiny gold sword. Now while he was working on that, our boy Blocky toured around the set checking out all the beautiful build techniques, like the build of the apple tree or the craftsmanship on the building. Blocky really happened to like the tree build, but I was a bigger fan of the architecture. And the blacksmith's done with the sword. He gave it to Blocky to try, and so Blocky can make sure it works, he stabbed him directly in the stomach, killing him instantly. And let's just say the blacksmith's friends were not happy about that at all. And now the sword's ready to be used for day 29, where I copped this huge 2,509 piece Fortress set, which is a remake of this 40-year-old classic one, and it comes with a really cool royal ship and a small pirate one. Now beneath the fortress, there's a lot of secret passages to buried treasure, all being defended by the captain and his crew, and also a monkey. Now the captain's boss is Florida Man, which probably explains the palm trees, and they are on high alert. Now our boy Blocky needs this treasure to buy a super weapon he wants, so he hired pirates to sneak him into the fort, which was easier said than done. Once they got in, Blocky went around and grabbed a nice drink, and after going through some more caverns and looking in one with a dead guy, Blocky found the treasure. And lucky for him, escape was pretty easy. He just used this cave slide to get his treasure and himself out. But he completely abandoned the pirates who helped him get in. They're definitely another enemy of Blocky's now that are going to be joining up with Florida Man and his gang, who are now all gathering on the island to get prepared for the major assault of Blocky. But Blocky's making his moves too, because at day 30 we have one of the coolest Lego sets ever, the Death Star. Yeah, the same one that Ned dropped in Spider-Man, and it has over 3,000 pieces with 25 minifigures and like 15 completely separate rooms. And it also cost me like $700 at a Lego convention, which was painful. Now obviously the Emperor owns the Death Star, and our boy Blocky McBlockface tried to make him an offer to buy him from him. Of course using the treasure he stole, because he still needs to destroy one of the biggest sets that Florida Man is going to be loading up pretty soon. But the Emperor was not having it. He wants to keep his Death Star, and he had Darth Vader throw him down a shaft. But our boy was able to swing across it and hop around to the elevator to go up to Darth Vader's TIE Fighter. Then he stole it and flew it around to try and take them both down, but there were cannons directly above it, so he had to surrender and go to Death Star jail. Lucky for him, Chewbacca broke him out of jail, and they had to use the garbage chute to escape. But he went back up the elevator and took on the Emperor one last time, stabbing him in the face. And they were all too afraid to confront him, so he threw them all in the trash compactor. Now Blocky has a lot of allies, and he has to prepare because he has a lot about to happen. But first we have to build the last set, which at day 31 and the last day of the month is the Titanic. which is the biggest set of the entire series and one of the biggest LEGO sets ever. Now, I'll admit I was surprised when I saw LEGO decide to do a Titanic because it's such a tragedy. But anyway, let's slice it up, pour it out, and get building. I spent a lot of time putting this set together and got through about 2 seasons of South Park while doing it. Now, my favorite thing about the build were the smokestacks, and clipping each of the individual parts together was really satisfying. I absolutely love the hundreds of micro-scale staterooms, pool, and even engines you could totally pull out, which actually have moving functions. I also copped some cursed minifigures of Jack and Rose, who are both at the front of the ship, and we'll be seeing what it's like when they drown later. Because Florida Man has to set sail with all our boy Blocky McBlockface's enemies to try and end him once and for all. So he started to load them all off the island, and the ship is getting ready to set sail. And it's all going to come to the conclusion in my pool. But our boy Blocky went away from his weapon for a little bit because he needed to spy on Florida Man and see what he was doing, but he wasn't on the ship. It turns out he snuck on with some of his allies to Blocky's Death Star and just completely self-destructed it, so now Blocky has no weapons. And also all of Blocky's allies, like the Spaceman and Chewbacca and even his brother, were really upset at Blocky because he hasn't been paying attention to them, and also he hasn't paid him. So they all joined up with Florida Man to take him down. Now all Blocky has is his bathtub, his sword, and a willingness to fight. So he headed over to the pool to take on the fleet of Florida Man and his allies one last time. An epic battle happened and Blocky took on everybody. The man may be a masochist, but he's a real fighter, you can give him that. But Blocky's pretty smart, so he realized there's one thing that can defeat a man from Florida and the Titanic: the cold. More specifically, an iceberg. So I got this set I froze for another video and had it run directly in to the Titanic. And chaos ensued. People were drowning and the ship started to go underwater. Curse you, blockhead. Now, some people were able to get on a lifeboat and survived, but pretty much everyone else was a floater. But Blocky's a generous guy, so he got out back there on his tub and dragged the one lifeboat to safety. Why are you saving us? Because it's better to live in a world with enemies than a world by yourself. Well, maybe we don't have to be enemies neither. And at least now they're friends. Now, Blocky had to apologize to all the people he wronged earlier. Hey guys, I'm sorry for committing a lot of war crimes against you all, and killing your wife, friends, and family, and stealing all your stuff. Well, that friendship didn't last very long, so Blocky decided it was probably a good time to go. This is a $5 LEGO set, and this is a $500 one. And this time we're going to be building a LEGO set every day, but each time the sets are going to get more expensive. And I'm starting with this little space minifigure. Oh wait, that's Blocky McBlockface. It looks like he went to visit space. If you remember that big teal brick from earlier, it infused some sort of intrusive thought powers inside his head. And they tell him to do things, but he doesn't know why he's doing it. And that's going to play a role a little bit later on.
But he's back because the voices inside his head told him he needs to destroy Disney World. So he's gonna need allies, which leads us into our day 2 build, which is this epic delivery motorcycle, which has a minifigure that a subscriber named Facey McFace blocked. He's a part-time delivery driver and also Blocky McBlockface's best friend. I made some room on the car so Blocky could hop onto his bike, and they could go off to head into day 3's build, which is this $10 Commander Cody brickheads. This build is great because it's like a chunky version of a regular Commander Cody, with its special printed pieces and a hologram that will make him execute Order 66 on other chunky Jedi, which makes him perfect for Blocky because he needs to recruit a clone army to attack Disney World. And who better for Blocky to recruit than a fellow war criminal who already took out the Jedi? And now that the boys made a deal, Blocky has to start preparing for an attack. With our day 4 build, the El Fuego's $12 stunt cannon set. This was really fun to build. It had a little minifigure of his dead stuntman named El Fuego. His cannon is cool and it actually shoots out minifigures. It was owned by El Fuego, but since Blocky needed it because he's going to use it in his assault on Disney World, he kind of just stopped by and stole it from El Fuego, who wasn't super happy about it. But who cares, because Blocky needs to get some money from day 5's build, which is this $13 Scary Pirate Island set. This little fortress has 214 pieces and is shaped like a shark head, which looks cool, and has a little fortress attached to it, which is owned by this scallywag named Blackheart, who left his gold doubloons in the shark's mouth because nobody's crazy enough to go in there, right? Anyway, Blocky McBlockface floated in on a small raft, grabbed the doubloons, and floated back away. Blackheart was really upset at Blocky and knew he had to call the one man who could help him.
What's the problem? I don't know why, but he's back. Tell him his man, Blocky McBlockface.
Florida Man was stunned, so he had to call in his allies in Day 6's build, which is a $15 build of Pixar's WALL-E and Eve. The WALL-E build is epic with his big round eyes, his red toolbox, and his shoe plant. And Eve is also cool, but her eyes kind of remind me of Sid from Ice Age for some reason. But they were built today because Florida Man summoned them, because he needs them to be covert spies on Blocky McBlockface to see what he is up to, and why he stole El Fuego's cannon and Blackheart's gold. So they started to follow Blocky, who is already at Day 7's build. This 219-piece set has 2 brick-built characters, and one of them is a famous red bionicle of Tahu, who has this giant flame in his hand and a lava surfboard. His friend Takua is small, and Blocky McBlockface wanted him for some reason, so he pulled up with Facey McFaceblock and yoinked the boy. Even Wally saw this and told Florida Man, who is now going to need to make a plan to find out what Blocky's doing. And now Tahu is big sads for losing his friend. But Blocky doesn't care because he's off to meet with Chonk Cody at Day 8's build. With the 332nd Trooper Pack, a $20 and 4 minifigure Clone Trooper set that is packed with 108 pieces and has a small blue swamp speeder that you can load the boys in, and it has a bunch of weapons attached. It also has these jetpack troopers who I can load into Blocky McBlockface's cannon and make fly. Chunky Commander Cody was able to recruit these boys, but warned Blocky that while he was out, he saw that he was being watched. Blocky knew who it was, so he called him to meet at Day 9's build, which is this $24 sailboat adventure set I built out by the poolside so I could try floating it, and it seems like a really sturdy build with these wood planks, a full mast, and 330 pieces. It also comes with some dolphins and these 2 minifigures from Florida who loaned Florida Man their boats so that he could go meet his arch enemy Blocky McBlockface at the last place that Blocky let his intrusive thoughts take over, where he sunk the Titanic. Florida Man, it's been a long time. Why do you want to destroy Disney World? The voices in my head told me to. How's that happening? Every time someone subscribes, the voices get louder and make me do more dangerous things. You need help. No, I don't. So Blocky hopped off and Florida Man sailed into tomorrow's build, which is this $27 Alien Space Diner set, and it's packed with details. It has a counter with a cash register and spaceship model. There's also a full jukebox and a booth for these space bros to sit and be served by this 3-eyed green alien chef. And Florida Man came to pay a visit to the spacemen because they used to be allies with Blocky, but he never paid them, so they don't like him very much. And Florida Man ended up getting them on board to defend Disney World. Now he has to head to see the main man at Day 11's build. That is a $28 Disney Celebration set. It's a fun 226-piece build that comes with a working projector that shows Mickey Mouse and is also operated by Mickey Mouse. The set also has a sketch pad of Mickey Mouse, and everything's kind of shaped like him here. And since Mickey lives in Florida, Florida Man himself came here to warn him about what was going on.
He thinks he can stop me, huh? Well, I'm Mickey Mouse. No one would dare challenge me.
You don't know Blocky McBlockface. And Mickey told Florida Man to keep following Blocky, and everyone he upset. And he has to catch up soon because Blocky's already at Day 12's build, but that is Majesto's Magic Workshop, a $29 set, and is a dark and scary home for Mr. Majesto, who is being protected by this guard. He has lots of cups to drink magical potions and some treasure. So Blocky stopped by and asked Majesto to make him a potion in exchange for some treasure to stop the voices inside his head, because they keep getting louder from everyone subscribing. Here, it'll take a few days to kick in, and oh my, what are you doing? Blocky stabbed Majesto's guard, stole his treasure, and ran off because he needed to go recruit more clones to his army with Day 13's set. That is a $30 Star Wars Bark Speeder escape. The build is really simple. It has a speeder that seats a Jedi and a sidecar that holds Baby Yoda. And it also has this random lamppost for some reason I don't understand. But most importantly, it has 2 First Troopers for Blocky McBlockface to command. So he and Chonk Cody ordered his boys to take out the Jedi, and they launched a major assault on him. And he was almost defeated until a Bionicle being commanded by Florida Man came in, stomped on Commander Cody, grabbed the Jedi, and escaped. But at least Blocky's army is getting a little bit bigger, even though Commander Cody might have to heal up. Also, Blocky was able to recover one of the lightsabers the Jedi left. Now he just has to feed all his men, which leads us into the next build. And Day 14's build is perfect for that. He has a $31 food truck set. This thing has 310 pieces and 2 minifigures, including this really sweaty boy. The build's pretty simple, and it has a grill with a cool build technique for Lego French fries, but the main thing they serve here is Lego glizzies. So our boy Blocky came with all his friends and motivated Sweaty Boy to make them all some scrumptious snacks. They ate real good with lots of glizzies and juices, and then went into tomorrow's build without leaving Sweaty Guy a tip. Poor bro. And at the halfway point is the Final Force Battle Pack. This says valued at $35 and has 6 minifigures, and 2 of them are battle droids. I also built this epic speeder with stud shooters and a walker with epic legs. Now these guys were in the middle of having it out with some droids when Facey McFaceblock came in on his cycle and took them out. The clones all stood at attention and grouped up with all the other clones that Blocky McBlockface has been accumulating, and he really started to feel confident in his army. Now Florida Man is really nervous, so he's heading to his friends at day 16's build. Being the Spider-Man vs. Sandman final battle, this set's based on Spider-Man No Way Home and costs $38. It comes with a new version of Spidey, Electro, and the first ever Lizard, who looks cursed. The Sandman build also looks pretty meh in my opinion, but the good news is he and the Lizard are mutual friends with Florida Man, whose native home is with the sands and alligators. He told them about Blocky McBlockface's plan, and they agreed to help Florida Man. Meanwhile, Blocky was already on the day 17 set, which is the $39 Muppet minifigure series box, which I cracked open, and I got Kermit the Frog with his banjo to jam out. We also got Miss Piggy, who has a poster of herself, which is a little weird, an animal with his drumsticks and a full drum. Then we have part-time VeggieTales character Bunsen Honeydew, and this old man named Statler. He has a computer, and on it is another Muppet named Scooter. And lastly, we got Fozzie Bear.
Hey y'all, why don't you wear shoes, Fozzie? Because I still have bare feet. Ah, waka waka. I'm going to Kermit suicide. Now that was a really big leap. Waka waka.
Now, Blocky McBlockface needed all these Muppets to hold them for ransom so he could find out where the Ark of the Covenant is, because it has the power to destroy the Ops. Florida Man did not want to make this deal, but he had to save the Muppets, and Blocky was already on his way to day 18's build, which is the $40 Escape from the Lost Tomb Indiana Jones set. It has 600 pieces and comes with Indiana Jones, a mummy, and these two. Now, Blocky stole Indy's clothes again and started adventuring through the snakes.
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
Getting jump scared by the mummy, and having statues almost fall on. He found the Ark and started to take it, but had to put it down because the voices inside his head were getting louder. I don't think he's ready to handle this kind of power, and he had to go leave and find some younglings like the one at day 19's build, which is this $49 set from Young Jedi Adventures called the Crimson Firehawk. It only has 136 pieces and has 2 Lego younglings named Nash, Durango, and Nubs. How adorable. They have a little food stand and this big red spaceship that dumps speeder bites out of its back. And all was going well until experienced youngling killer Blocky McBlockface showed up and had at all the younglings again. Florida Man showed up to the devastation and was horrified. He couldn't believe all the damage Blocky had done. So many people he'd hurt, and he had to stop him. And in the next 10 days, he's gonna have to do everything he can to save Disney World.
Florida Man, you chose to defend the wrong mouse, huh?
And I'm gonna be starting this with a $50 Disney set from Encanto of the Madrigal house. This house was insane in the movie and had loads of different rooms with flowers, a forest, and a room with a donkey. And the Lego one doesn't have any of that. It was a pretty easy build with a basic brick-built facade and minifigures of Mirabelle, her cousin, and her grandma, and nobody else. Like, dude, where's Bruno? We don't talk about him. Why not? His room is literally in the set. The only redeeming quality of this set is the capybara.
Okay, I'll pull up.
Anyway, Blocky McBlockface stopped by because the voices inside his head were getting even louder, so he abducted the grandma and head off into day 21 set, which is a $60 Powerpuff Girls set that comes with the closest thing we will ever get to Lego South Park. Because it comes with these 2 really cartoonish characters and their unicorn friend. They all don't like monkeys, and they put a sign in front of their store banning monkeys because he steals a lot. So he went to Blocky McBlockface for help to rob the store, and Blocky agreed only because he needs the money to buy a spaceship to get his army equipped to assault Disney World. So Blocky went in with some dynamite, blew up the walls, and he loaded the diamond and himself into the getaway car. The girls tried chasing and launching ice cream at him, but none of it worked. The 2 escaped, but Blocky made him stop the car and kick the monkey out, and then went on into day 22's build, which is the $70 Sith Infiltrator set. It is the ship of the Sith Lord Darth Maul, and also comes with Qui-Gon Jinn and another youngling. I got to building the 640-piece set, and a neat add-on is this minifigure of this old Rebel Saw Gerrera for the 25th anniversary of LEGO Star Wars. The set itself has a really cool area to store a small speeder and a missile system. It also has this cool feature where you can drop probe droids that give you valuable intel on the Ops. And that's why this ship is perfect for Blocky McBlockface. He and his boys took all their gold and gave it to Darth Maul. It did cost him a leg and a leg, but he didn't want to steal it from him because he's a Sith Lord. And when little Anakin was walking by the ship, Blocky stopped and offed the Chosen One, ticking off his friends. But it's too late because he boarded and is already off to a galaxy far, far away in tomorrow's build, which is this premium $80 LEGO Millennium Falcon set. It has 921 pieces and a heck of a lot to build. And when I tell you this build process was a lot, it was stupid. Inside there were hidden Easter eggs of Chewbacca and the droids playing space chess, and also one of Han, Leia, and 3PO, all as studs. It also has this little turret and a really detailed exterior. And it's the Millennium Falcon. What's not to love? The ship ship was defending space when out of nowhere Blocky McBlockface jumped out of hyperspace, causing the two ships to get into a major space battle, but eventually Blocky pulled out the W and was able to land at Day 24's set, which is this $100 R2-D2 set. It comes with this exclusive Darth Malak Destroyer of Worlds minifigure, but more on him later. His building R2 was really fun. He had this little shocky arm and his grabber, and he also has this scope piece attached to his head and a third leg on his bottom. It's the first set over 1,000 pieces and one Blocky wants for his army. So he met with Darth Malak to try and buy it for him.
I would literally destroy it before I let you have it.
And Blocky was already downloading his skill set, but it was too late because Malak was already about to destroy R2-D2 using the Force.
No!
But Blocky finished downloading his skill sets and used his Force Lightning against him. And then he traveled on again into tomorrow's set, being the $139 AT-TE Walker set. This tank of a set has 3 droids and 5 clones, one of them being Clone Commander Cody. I got to building this beast and it took a little while and has a ton of features, like this troop holder to carry the boys, a cannon for this gunner clone to operate, and a handle for surprise drop-ins on the enemy. It's also loaded with guns and a ball turret, and building it literally makes you feel like a military specialist. And it will be the perfect build for Blocky McBlockface. Now Blocky chatted up with Commander Cody, who's lost some weight. He told Blocky they need at least one more spaceship to attack, but it's in the hands of his old boss. And Blocky spent a lot of time fighting this boss's allies, so he's nervous for Day 26 build, which is the Republic gunship. It is a $140 set and has more clone minifigures for Blocky, as well as Commander Fox, Padme, and Papa Palpatine. I cracked open the box, and let's get into building this bad Larry. And this thing's dope. It has stud shooters, a cockpit for the pilot, and after trying really hard, I was able to fit 20 clone troopers in it. This thing is perfect for Blocky McBlockface, who's launching his assault on Disney World, but there's one man standing in his way, and he brought help.
This is my apprentice, Gum.
Maul started to attack Blocky, and they had an epic duel, but Maul lost his legs, and Blocky was about to finish the job. Kill him. Kill him now. Blocky thought about it, and the voices inside his head told him yes. But they also told him something else. No, no, no! Ah! Blocky used Force Lightning on Palpatine, but Palpatine took out his lightsaber and took a swipe at Blocky, making him pass out. But before he did, he pulled out his last move. Execute Order 66. It will be done, my lord. Padme saw the chaos going on, and now that Blocky had a full fighting force, she had to warn Florida Man.
Florida Man, come in. He just executed the last defense. You have to repair.
Well, this isn't good. And Florida Man is preparing to tell Mickey the bad news, while Facey McFaceblock is rushing to the wounded Blocky at Day 27's build. That's a $200 Hoth Echo base from 2011. This theater has 8 minifigures of snowtroopers, naked Luke, Leia, Han, Chewbacca, red droids, med droids, and this Tauntaun. This place is the ultimate base because it has an air defense system, command station, fuel station, turrets, tauntaun gate, radar dishes, blaster racks, and this catwalk. Count all those guys I can fit up here. Building this thing is fun, but the coolest build was the medical bay, where Blocky McBlockface was brought to heal up, and Commander Cody put clones in a bunch of cool defensive positions around the base, preparing for the assault. And while Blocky was in his coma, the voices inside his head were getting so loud, he finally started to achieve some clarity. He knows his mission now, and he knows what he has to do. And while that's happening, Cody and Facey are prepping for Day 28's build, which is the Globe. It's a $230 set and has 2,585 pieces. The build for this thing took for freaking ever, and I am tired of panels and never want to work with them again. But hey, at least it has all the different continents, including Australia, which is great because now I can just remove it from existence. And Florida may be the only part of the United States with 3 whole studs dedicated to it, which is important because Florida is where Blocky McBlockface and his clone army are heading, because he's on the final steps of his journey to destroy Disney World. Meanwhile, Florida Man's on his way to warn Mickey Mouse at Day 29's build. That's a $300 Natural History Museum set. This thing has over 4,000 pieces, so let's get into it, because it's going to be a long one. And while building this set, I put on the movie Night at the Museum, where all the statues come to life, and the build was pretty fun. When I was finished, I took a look around, and there was this fossil exhibit with a big Bronchiosaurus skeleton and fossilized poop. There was also a little space exhibit and a wall displaying different classic Lego sets. Now on the top level, there's this small penthouse where Mickey Mouse is drafting his final plan, and Florida Man came by to inform him of the news. Blocky's army's heading this way. I have my fellas ready, but this is gonna be a big attack.
Come with me. Do these fellows look familiar to you?
These are Blocky McBlockface's old friends. That's right. Why are they here?
Blocky won't attack me if I have them here, and now I can fulfill my big plan.
Plan is...
To destroy Florida, of course, huh?
What?
Guards, take them away, huh?
Wait, how'd you do it?
Oh, you see, I was using those younglings as spies, and they were getting all the pieces to make this castle into a giant rocket. But Blocky McBlockface killing them really set me back.
Florida Man was stunned, but he couldn't do anything to warn his allies or Blocky because he was trapped with Brickley McBrickface, Jeb from the web, and all Blocky's old allies. Now, Mickey gathered all Florida Man's new pals ready to attack Blocky, and Florida Man wants to warn everyone, but he's locked up. And it might be too late, because tomorrow's the last day, and we're building the castle. But the great news is it's a $400 Disney castle, which is awesome. It has 4,800 pieces and minifigures of Snow White and that guy who I can't name, Cinderella and that guy whose name I can't remember, Rapunzel and that guy whose name I can't remember, and Fiona whose guy was a frog. I kept on building, and this was pretty tedious. While building, I watched the Disney movie, and it was really cool to build a place I visited a lot as a kid. Disney World was my favorite place to go. But the inside of the set's really cool because it has all these movie references, like from Fantasia with the fountain, Beauty and Beast and the candelabra, Sleeping Beauty and the spinning wheel, Tangled and the window, Aladdin and the lamp, the sword from Mulan, the thingamahopper from the Little Mermaid, the sword and the stone, and so many more references. And it's really a shame because under the castle, there are a bunch of engines ready to launch this thing to destroy Florida. Blocky just had to prepare his army to attack. The reason we're attacking is because Mickey Mouse is using the castle to destroy Florida, and we need to stop him.
How do you know that?
Because of the voices inside my head. Now everyone, get your vehicles. The attack is soon. Blocky got into his space armor from day one and his bathtub from last year, then loaded into the gunship when he got a call from Mickey Mouse. Hello?
You might want to hold off, haha. I've got some friends here who'd like to see you.
Blocky, it's a trap! Just then, Blocky realized all the people he upset trying to save Florida were going to be defending the castle. And what's worse is they were going to be launched up with it. He needed to get everyone out. What do we do now, sir? New mission. You guys need to save as many people as possible from that castle before it explodes. How? By using my intrusive thought powers. Blocky used his mind to communicate to everyone that the castle was about to be destroyed and to escape with the clones. Hey, did you guys download Neuralink when I was sleeping?
No, but I think we should probably leave.
And once they received the message, the clones landed and were ready to receive all the escapees. Go, go, go. All of a sudden, everyone started to run out of the castle.
What's happening? Why are they running?
Maybe somebody told them to, Mick.
Impossible! Prepare the launch now!
1 minute, Mick.
But as they were running out, Blocky ran towards it.
Where are ye going, matey?
I'm going to save my friends. Blocky ran into where his friends were being held and freed them, including Florida Man. Why are you saving me again? You were trying to do the right thing this whole time, and so was I, but we didn't realize the real enemy was at the top. You're right. Blocky told them to get out and make sure everyone escaped because he needed to disable the castle from being launched and destroying all Florida. Launching in 3, 2, 1. And all of a sudden, Blocky took his bathtub, attached a bomb to it, and... Blocky, no! They explored the wreckage and they couldn't find Blocky anywhere. Florida was saved by Blocky McBlockface, but he went down with the castle, right? I never even got to say thank you. What are you all sad about? Turns out Blocky hopped out of his spacesuit, which did the rest automatically. They ended up bringing Mickey on trial for war crimes, freeing Blocky of the allegations, and as a punishment, they strapped him on a rocket and launched him into space. So God bless and stay awesome.